What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out my channel. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date with my newest videos. And at the end of the video, if you like what you see, hit the like button. It'll help out my channel a lot. Today's video, I'm pretty much just gonna bust out a freehand evil looking skull in my style. This is some samples of my sketches right here. So I'm gonna kind of just use these for reference and just throw something together kind of similar. So it won't be just like that, but just something in my own style like that. And this is what separates the people that's real good at custom airbrushing from the people who are limited and can only do stencil work. There's nothing wrong with doing stencil work, and you can make a lot of money doing that. You can sell a lot of t-shirts and that's all cool and stuff. But if you can bust out some awesome freehand stuff, and the more stuff you're able to freehand, the better off you are in the long run. Your customers will really like it. They'll just enjoy seeing you sit there and bust out something freehand. If they just throw you an idea or show you a picture on their phone or something, and you can just bust it out right there pretty quick because you've practiced drawing so much, that sets you apart from a lot of the other people that are stuck just only able to do stencils. So on this one, I'm gonna do the design pretty good size, and I'm thinking just black and white, black and gray. So Createx transparent medium gray, Createx opaque black, and then at the end probably some opaque white just for little highlight areas. And that's pretty simple. I'm just going to build it up real slow with the medium gray until I get everything how I want it and all the midtones done. Then I'll go in there with the black, hit those, make it all pop, get the detail good and defined, and then at the end white highlights. So I've drawn hundreds of these. I've drawn so much stuff in my life. I can bust it out pretty easily, have fun with it, make something cool, and that's what it's all about. Just practice on paper over and over and over, and just with a pencil. The better you can draw, once you get the hang of the airbrush and the trigger, and then the better off you are. The better your art is on paper before you try to do another medium, the better off you are. You can just do airbrush and do all of your sketch practice and all that with airbrush, and that's fine. It's just that pencils and paper are a whole lot cheaper than t-shirts and paint, or even if you paint on poster board for practice like I did a lot starting out. Just the airbrush paint itself can add up, so I recommend practicing on paper as much as possible. Plus, if you're stuck in an area where you can't always have your compressor on because it makes too much noise or something, but you want to get some art practice in, just bust out some cheap copy paper, some pencils, and just go to town and just practice. The more repetition, the better. And if you're going to try to do airbrushing at an airbrush booth or something for money, then you need to have your skills, up there pretty well advanced, so that you can bust out work a whole lot quicker, easier. You won't be as stressed on the spot, and it's just overall in the long run going to help you out way more than just practicing a little bit. So keep all that in mind, and I'm going to start throwing down some paint. Alright, as you can see, I did all that so far with just this Createx medium gray. I've got all my light tones and mid tones laid down, and basically just kind of winging it off my references. Now I'm ready to go to some opaque black and start putting in some of these real deep shadows and some of the real tiny details, and that's really going to bring it to life and make it pop. And just a heads up, I designed some really cool airbrush t-shirts, and you should be able to see them on the screen somewhere, and I'll put a link to those below in the description. They're really cool premium fit t-shirts, and if y'all have any suggestions on, you know, different t-shirts or something like that I could make that y'all would like, just let me know. Also, any questions about this painting or any of my other stuff, just comment below. I'll try to get back with you. If you have some kind of painting you want to request that you would like to see me do to demonstrate how to do it, I can do that too. Just let me know. If not, I'm just going to keep throwing random stuff out there at y'all, stuff that I have done over the years, stuff I like doing, or anything I think is valuable to an up-and-coming airbrush artist. So, check out the shirts. They're really cool. Order you one. And like I always say, if you're interested in any of the equipment that I use, products I use, there's always links below in the comment section for that stuff. Any questions about that stuff, just comment below also. And if you're interested in the business side of airbrushing, or the business side of anything, or just overall want to learn how to make more money or increase your income, just better yourself overall financially, whatever, I have another channel dedicated to that because I'm involved in a lot of different business stuff and have been for a while. I'm always increasing my income, learning new ways to make more money. Any way I can increase value and make my lifestyle better, I'm trying to bring value to y'all and create content that shares that with y'all. So that channel is Rise Above and Inspire. Check that out if you want. And I'm gonna get back to painting and throw down some black. got all the black put in there. As you can tell, when you really get all those dark shadows in there, it makes these lighter areas really stand out. Gives it a lot of good detail. Don't be afraid to put heavy blacks in there. That's what makes something stand out, makes it look good from across the room, and that's just how you get good definition on, especially something like this that's black and gray. It really just brings it to life. Don't be scared to put the black in there. Especially the good thing about airbrushing, you can build it up little by little, and then once you get your style down and realize how much black you need in each spot and all that, then you can just kind of wing it like what I did. You can throw it in there faster and all that. But starting out, remember with airbrush, just work light to dark, especially if you're freehanding. Just lay down the gray tones light, build those up until it's defined with gray tones, and then go to the either next darker shade of gray or to black like I did on this one. Go to the black, slowly build it up, get it how you want it, and then throw the white highlights right there on top of it. And when it comes to most things, there are some exceptions, but for most things, especially like this, it's kind of like a nasty, creepy, wet looking skull. Especially the eyes, you want those to look wet. So just look up some other stuff online for reference and just look at where they put the white highlights, or look at photographs. If you're doing eyes especially, just look up some photographs of people and look to see where the highlights are on their eyes, and just put the white according to that. Just put that, you know, on the eyes. But anything that is supposed to look shiny or wet, throw highlights on there. Don't overdo it. It's better just to put a few here and there than to overdo it. So I'm going to put some maybe on these spikes, definitely the eyes, probably some of this stuff down here where it would look kind of wet, maybe around here, and then definitely on the teeth. But you don't have to overdo it. So let me demonstrate where I put my whites.
We're going to give them a chance to be able to communicate that. A lot of times our need to talk when we're in conversations with people comes from a place of seeking approval and validation. We want others to think we're cool. That's not what we're doing with these things. That has nothing to do with thinking and growing rich. And because if you follow that, you're actually trying to give in to one of the fears, which is fear of criticism. In other words, thinking that, look, if I talk a lot and I show how cool I am, people will not criticize me, they'll actually think I'm a valuable person and so forth. The value of decisions depends upon the courage required to render them. The great decisions which serve as the foundation of civilization were reached by assuming great risks, often meant the possibility of death. Okay, assuming great risks. We're afraid to make decisions a lot of times because of the risk. But everything has a certain degree of risk. Nothing is absolute. And while it's important to take calculated risks, it's also important to develop our ability to take rapid decisions or make rapid decisions that involve risk. Both needs to be developed at the same time. Those who reach decisions promptly and definitely know what they want and generally get it. The leaders in every walk of life decide quickly and firmly. This is the major reason why they are leaders. The world has a habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he's going. Indecision is a habit which usually begins in youth. The habit takes on permanency as the youth goes through grade school, high school, and even through college without definiteness of purpose. So we recognize that indecision is something that we've been cultivating unintentionally and programming into our subconscious mind, and we need to change that. That's a very important point that we need to work on. Let's talk about persistence, chapter 9. Persistence. Persistence is an essential factor in the procedure for transmuting desire into its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. Men who accumulate great fortunes are generally known as cold-blooded and sometimes ruthless. Often, they are misunderstood. What they have is willpower, which they mix with persistence and place back of their desires to ensure the attainment of their objectives. The majority of people who are ready to throw their aims and purposes overboard and give up at the first sign of opposition or misfortune, a few carry on despite all opposition until they attain their goal. So we want to develop persistence. Persistence is something that is fueled by the burning desire. If you've got the burning desire and you're willing to cut out all the other options until the attainment of your burning desire, then you're going to have a lot more persistence. And persistence is also developed like a muscle. When you fail, you get back up, you persist, you take action again and again and again. If you get rejected and you fail, you fall down, you analyze your behaviors, your stimulus, how you got the response from the environment or whatever, what that means automatically, and you take action right away to keep implementation. Go back in, and you do that over and over again, and that's how you develop persistence. Poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it, as money is attracted to him whose mind has been deliberately prepared to attract it, and through the same laws.
Alright, that wraps up this video. Thanks for checking it out. I hope you learned something. If you got any questions, just leave them in the comments. If you have requests of certain things you want me to paint, leave that in the comments. I'll try to do that for the next video or something. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. That helps me out a lot. Please like the video, share it. And like I said, I designed these cool t-shirts. So if you would like one of those, just follow the link below, pick one of those up. I got a lot of other cool stuff on that website also. And if you're interested in the business side of things, or just want to increase your income or level up your money and success in any way whatsoever, follow my other channel, subscribe to that. It's still pretty new, so I'm trying to build that up. It's called Rise Above and Inspire. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. I think you'll really like that content if you like making money. So that about wraps it up. So thanks once again. Thanks for checking out my video. I was just making sure I didn't leave anything out I wanted to cover. Just keep practicing. Practice the little stuff, the lines, the dots, the little straight hairlines, the fuzzy big lines. Practice blending lights to dark, your gradients. Practice drawing on paper as much as you can. It's cheap and easy, and it's better than wasting a whole bunch of t-shirts. And it'll help you in the long run. The better you draw, the better you can airbrush. Airbrush is a little trickier to learn. So once you figure out the mechanics of that, figure out how to work the trigger, your pressures, all that, it can be tricky for a while. But the better your art is on paper, once you get that stuff figured out, the better your airbrush stuff will be. And you bust out something like this freehand for a customer, throw their name on there, a cool saying or something. I mean, you might have a customer for life. They'll share it, get a lot of attention with it. I mean, this took me maybe 20 or 30 minutes total, something like that. And I went a little extra on the detail, more than what I normally would if I was at an airbrush booth and way behind busting out orders. I might not go quite as in detail as that. But if you have the time, the customer wants to sit there and watch you paint something like this, I mean, that's awesome. They'll be blown away you give them something like this. Or if it's an order they place and they pick it up later, when they get it, you know, you've exceeded their expectations. That's what it's all about. Go the extra mile, put that extra effort into it. It really pays. They may pick up the shirt and leave you a really good tip or something, or they might get you 10 more shirts to do. You never know. If you want to make money with it, you can. If you want to do it for a hobby, just for fun, to practice your art, that's awesome. You can always level it up. This is really good for Christmas gifts or any kind of gifts whatsoever. It's an awesome skill to have, no matter what you want to do with it. So just keep practicing. Thanks for checking on the video. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Until next time, peace out.